Hello, my friends. How are you doing? This is another episode of Fun Times in Tarot with Cindy. So these are a little more relaxed readings. Actually, I'm going to upload them right from my phone too. I'm not even going to edit. So you see me turn the camera on and off there. We're going to do, I think I'm going to do two piles. I'm going to do two piles. You know, what will we do here? Let's on the fly. Let's go. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what this crystal is. This crystal will be for pile number 1. If you are, what do people do? This way, Cindy. John, there you go. Yeah, look at me. I'm a YouTuber. I know what I'm doing here. So then, and this is pile number 2. Okay, so no, I'm so confused because I have the phone turned around so I see the image. And anyways, so yeah. Pile 1. So, okay, what's the word on the street? I want to ask what the word on the street is about you, and then what you don't see coming. Oh, the camera's all crooked. Oops. Oh, no, it's really crooked. Maybe it's better if I don't see what I'm doing. What have I done here? And like, oh my goodness. Okay. Mama needs a new tripod for Christmas. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Oldest tarot deck ever, the modern spellcaster, something like that. All right, what's the word on the street? Pile number 1. Pile number 1. I'll timestamp it. Pile number 1. The word on the street about pile number 1. What is the word on the street about pile number 1? Decisions. You have a lot of decisions to make, and you need to be really strategic about it, and you might be in your head. So it might be like you might be thinking about a lot, but because I'm getting like, well, 9 of Swords is coming up with this. So Mars in Gemini energy, and we have a chessboard here. So you have to play the long game. And think about that with chess. That's something that I'm not very good at playing. My son always beats me at that. Well, we haven't played it in a long time. Chess game. Interesting, right? There's almost like a fireplace here with a huge brick wall and there's nothing in it. Mercury's not coming in and giving you any answers here. Kind of what I get from the top of that card. Mercury's not coming in and giving you any answers. You have to play very strategically. You have to try to anticipate what's going to happen in the future. But without really knowing, because Mercury's not lighting up the fireplace there. The bottom after asking about the word on the street is birth. There's 2 things being birthed here right now. Actually, well, one is, okay, you've already succeeded in something. All right, there's like a little baby at the bottom there. You've already succeeded in something here, but it's still maturing. Now, there's something still within you, though, that... I'm not comfortable to sit in my chair. I'm going to go leaning forward because I can see myself in the camera. But there's something here within you that hasn't been birthed. It's not really out in the open yet. So something kind of hidden. Maybe this has to do with this decision card. Maybe you're making decisions about something that's about to happen in your life or something that it almost feels like you need to be strategic about this. So, I mean, we could simplify it. And she's pregnant. So if you want to be strategic about that, you're thinking, okay, if I'm going to, maybe I need to move to a new place because you know what, I'm going to have a kid. We're going to have a kid. It doesn't have to be that, but it's just getting the right environment for what you know is coming up in your life. So, okay, we live downtown in a tiny little, condo surrounded by nightclubs. So let's maybe see if we can find something in the suburbs where there's a school with a good rating and, you know, there's playgrounds. You know what I mean? It's almost like, well, you know something is coming in your life and you have to be kind of strategic about it. This is still growing. So I feel like you might have your hands full because this is still like an infant, whatever's come out of you here. And you still have to manage that and nurture it. Really balancing things because this little one looks forgotten down at the bottom. Word on the street is you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on. You got a lot to think about. You have to be sort of strategic. You may not be showing, like, because the fact that it feels like Mercury is not coming in and lighting this fire for you, you aren't really getting much in the way of intuitive hits about, you know, how things might play out, or what you might end up finding, or what you may end up deciding, or how things might go for you. So let's pull out some cards on that pile number one. This is the word on the street. The word on the street, pile number one. All right, decisions. You got decisions here. What are these decisions about for pile number one? The Four of Cups. Well, I'm going to say right now, I feel like you're kind of keeping things to yourself here. Yeah, you're keeping things to yourself. You're meditating. It's a word on the street. You're contemplating. I don't think you're really involved in something kind of mentally with Mars and Gemini. And then we have Venus in Cancer, and this is Cancer energy as well. Being homebody, nurturing, really has kind of that feeling of Queen of Pentacles mixed in with Queen of Swords. And I say Queen of Swords because the Gemini energy. So really kind of utilizing your thoughts. I'm hearing batten down the hatches. So I don't know if it's a preparation for some sort of a storm. That's way too many cards. Jeez, come on, simmer down. Okay, so we got the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Wow. How to get to emotional fulfillment. Here's the prize at the end of the drive. I'm hearing, here's the prize at the end of the drive. So I don't know if you actually have to make a road trip of some sort, or you have to drive somewhere. But the Knight of Pentacles, I think what you're doing here is you're calming your emotions with the Four of Cups. This is the word on the street. So this may not even be what's going on for you, but this is kind of like what people think or perceive. You know what I am? I know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with this reading. So it's what people think or perceive. So you're not really, I would say you're not wholly invested emotionally in things that maybe you typically would have been. You're making a plan here with the Knight of Pentacles and decision. And you're being really, really careful about it. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot here on the line for it. That's what's going on here. People see you like really thinking. I'm going to keep the Birth card out. I'm going to say, so what is really going on? What is really going on with pile number one? What is really going on with pile number one? Status. Jupiter and Taurus. Okay, so there's something could be going on with a relationship. What's at the bottom? Seduction. Jupiter in Pisces. Sun in Virgo. Mars. You got a lot in the underline. Mars in Virgo. Criticism. Oh my God. You have so much. Moon in Libra, independence. Venus in Gemini, excitement. Saturn in Aquarius, eccentricity. Mars in Virgo, criticism. Sun in Virgo, health. And then Jupiter in Pisces, seduction. What's really going on with you? Okay, what's really going on with you is there's some, okay, I feel like you are working towards some level of independence here, but it's really unusual. I feel like, you know, it's funny because I'm asking about you, but I feel like people are kind of excited to see what's going on with you. I don't know if you're like some level of gossip or interest or around the water cooler. It's like, oh, pile number one. You know what's going on with pile number one. I'll tell you what's going on with pile number one. This is pretty interesting. So you're trying to claim, I think, some form of independence, and you have Aquarius energy around excitement. You have Moon in Aquarius and then Saturn in Aquarius. You might find yourself in a pickle. You might find yourself in a situation that, you know, maybe if somebody was writing a book about it, it wouldn't seem real. But like, yeah, I'm not even gonna finish reading this book. It's silly. It's silly. This is silly. But then you're going from criticism. You're having this repeat. You had 2 repeats in Aquarius. And then you have 2 repeats in Virgo. I kind of want to link Virgo with a bit of status as well in this for some reason. Your status might be elevating. This is the other thing it looks like. Pile number one, it looks like the more people tell you you can't, the more you find a way that you can. And you look freaking damn good. It's almost like the more vinegar you pour on this weed, the harder it grows, baby. The harder it grows. Because criticism turns into like almost finding a way. It's as if something is not going well or you're being criticized, or I don't know, like, right, you got this decision card, which is a chess game. So if something is not going well in your life, or people are looking at you and judging you about it, being very critical, nitpicky about your choices or who you are, because you do have eccentric here. You do have eccentric. You're not on the same path as a lot of people, or you're trying to achieve something that has to do with your independence. It could be your thinking, it could be financial independence, emotional. There's a lot of different ways that could be. But then eccentric too also talks about, like, because it's a link to Aquarius, this could have something to do with career. It could be something that you're doing in a career base that's really unusual, but you shine in it. You shine. Every time somebody like says, no, you can't do it. Yeah, maybe you cry behind the scenes or you get upset, but then when you come out, you're like looking great. And I just see this, like this looking great, looking after yourself, and then you have seduction. It's almost like you have a way of seducing life, even when life is not going in your favor. And I think somehow it's upping your status. And I don't know. Well, let's see. I say I don't know, so I want to pull cards, because that's why I'm here, because I don't know. I'm not quite a gifted intuitive that I can just sit here. Oh, sometimes. I sort of need the cards to inspire me. But that's why I picked tarot, because I'm a visual artist. And I thought, see? Some of these thoughts are good thoughts. All right, this status, the 6 of Swords, you're on your way to bigger things. You're definitely on your way to bigger things. I'm kind of getting the feeling too, like not allowing yourself to be small so that other people can feel okay with perhaps whatever they are accomplishing or not. The 2 of Wands just also feels like kind of on your way to fulfilling your dreams, because the 6 of Swords is here. The Page of Swords. People are watching you. Up yourselves. The 3 of Pentacles, the World card. The 9 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, the King of Swords. You might have stepped away from like a group. The 3 of Pentacles and the World card. So you've completed something here with a group. Whether that was a group that you worked with, a group that you communed with, a group that maybe you even like were learning with. But that cycle is over. But now you've got the 9 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and the King of Swords. There's this mental thing coming in, right? Because this is mental with Mars and Gemini, the chess game. So it's like, okay, I think that you are pulling away from any sort of distraction. And I don't mean distractions are necessarily bad distractions, or they were in the past with the 3 of Pentacles, because this is, I mean, there's value being given here. There's value being received. It's good. It's knowledge being shared, and like physically executing this with a Pentacle energy. But you've completed that cycle, and now you're chasing your dreams. So it is perhaps actually having a focus on others in the past. And sometimes if you are bringing a lot to the table in a group setting or in any other dynamic beyond just yourself involved, and then you decide to pull away because there's something that you need to do for you. I get that with the Nine of Cups. There could be. I'm not sure where this criticism comes in. It's the only card that really is a bit of a stick in the cog here, like a, that's not what, you know what I mean. Something, the Nine of Cups, the Five of Swords. Whatever you're walking away from, you're really determined to do it with the Five of Swords and the King of Swords. There's like an elevation here because this is like the same guy in the, here, and then the King of Swords. You're ready to do it. You're going. You're like, nobody's, yeah. Tell me not to. Like with the sword. Tell me not to. That was the underline. I'm like, why is this here? Why is this here? All right. The only thing I'm interested, actually, I'm going to call one card out on the criticism. What's this criticism card about? The Nine of Cups. That's funny. But then that turns into health. You know, I feel like you're stepping away from anything that ever felt uncomfortable, where anybody ever like looked at you, because this eye is really just like, I really get that. Something here. So, but then you're looking after your health. You're seducing life, baby. You're seducing life and it looks good and you're not putting up with, I don't know, finger pointing or anything like that. So let's put the criticisms back in there. We know it was associated with the Nine of Cups. The bottom, the Queen of Pentacles. This is, I do feel like your energy is being pulled in here, but in a very strategic way for something very strategic in the future. Or that you need to be. Okay, so what was the next thing I wanted to ask? Yeah, what's going on? What's coming that you don't see? So is it like any sort of a blind spot here that you don't see? What's the blind spot here for pile number one? Let's give them a heads up. What do they need to know about? Companionship, Moon and Libra. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't really look like that's something that you're focused on. Discovery. Mercury and Sagittarius. Interesting. You know, I said it was almost like, I feel like the Mercury, the messenger, isn't, the fires, there's no fire there. There's no fuel in the fireplace. There's no wood. There's no logs. And then, okay, so companionship, you have Mercury and Sagittarius. That is like movement and communication. That to me almost sounds, feels like I would say, I could be wrong, but that to me would feel like the Eight of Wands. So there's movement and communication. You might be meeting someone from a different place than where you are. You might actually be going to a new place of some sort. And you're going to find a buddy. A buddy. Let's find out about the companionship card. This is the blind spot. Or maybe you're moving away. See, some sort of movement from a type of companionship. The companionship card. This is the blind spot for pile number one. The Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, you are. I think you're moving away from some form of companionship here. Or could have been the Three of Pentacles. Anything else with this Eight of Wands? I'm telling you, you're on your way. You're going. You're moving, shaking, and that's it. The Six of Wands and the Devil. Oh, I really get this feeling like you got something going on here, and you've got to find like some sort of victory for yourself. There is a sense of needing to focus on yourself for some reason. With the Decision card, you've a chess match. And you are taking every step cautiously and carefully. That's what it appears here, right? To people. To find your happiness, to find your fulfillment. yeah, what's really going on though is you're really following what the universe is telling you to do. Which is kind of funny because this fireplace is empty. So I think you might even be told to do certain things, or you feel really inclined that you need to put your focus in certain areas. You don't know what the outcome could be, but you just know you need to do it. You just know that you need to do this. And there's, I mean, victory over the devil. So that's a pretty important fight, I guess. Let's do a little clarifier, pile number 1. A little clarifying. Decision. The Chariot and the Queen of Wands. This is really taking control. Taking control, making a decision. Making a decision. Making a decision, I want to say probably in your best interest with the Queen of Wands. Could be something that you want to do creatively and you're feeling held back in other areas of your life. So you're trying to eliminate some of those parts or obligations in life. But you're moving and shaking. Again, looking good though, doing it. Looking good. Where's that hat? Oh, is it? I had a friend years and years ago. Her was quite a bit older, and his father was in his 90s, and he was passing away in the hospital. And the nurses always said, you know, he still gets dressed every morning. He manages to get dressed, get out of his pajamas, wash his face, brush his teeth, and comb his hair. Didn't matter. He had to look good. He had to be presentable. So it's kind of like that. Now, that's what it looks like to other people, though. You're on fire. You're your own boss in something, I would say as well, with the Queen of Wands. What's this birth you got going on here? It's like you're just popping out babies without looking after the one first. The Page of Cups. Oh, for some of you, it could have something to do with things that you're looking creative. These could be creative projects that you need to get off the ground. There's something creative here that you need to invest more into as well. It's not... So you may have started something creatively for yourself. It could be a hobby and maybe you want to take it to something bigger. But, you know, maybe you have... Because... yeah, I put those away, didn't I? Yeah, to reshuffle. Oh, it was the underline for this. Or here, or the status card, that you've closed off cycles where you did with the Three of Pentacles, you were working with other people and things. Yeah, so you need to invest in yourself in the things that you're working on to make them grow more. Status. So this is what you're... Wow. The Empress, the Knight of Cups, and the Hierophant. There's some status. I hope you're not chasing that status. I mean, if you're chasing that status, I hope it's chasing your own goals and stuff. You shouldn't chase this in other people. I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, that's good. That's nice. There's something that you have your eye on the prize for something. Look at this. The Empress is pregnant, and this individual is pregnant as well. I do feel like you're looking for a higher calling here. You're looking to really move forward in a more emotional and creative way than you have before. Right? Because actually, too, and the things that you seem to be leading are very pentacle-based. So chasing your dreams a little bit, too. Feels like chasing your dreams. Chasing the things that you really, really want. Allow these things to grow. And there's something here about it really feeling like a commitment that you're, I want to rephrase how I said that. Something that you are deeply committed to. It feels like a calling for you. Companionship. The Sun, the Hanged Man, and the Queen of Cups. Gosh, I kind of feel like you're chasing your dreams. You're chasing, but you may not see them yet. You may not see them. You're kind of looking out. You perhaps needed a new perspective on things here in life. So you've moved away from, things that you were obligated here. The Eight of Pentacles. You've mastered something already. You have. Shit me, you got the World card again. The World and the King of Wands. It's now time to do something different. But this doing something different is really for you. The Five of Pentacles. Temperance. And the Five of Wands. Gosh, it's almost like waiting for the smoke to clear. What you don't see, waiting for the smoke to clear. With the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man's eyes are closed in that card. So it could be something that you don't really see. The dust is settling around you, maybe towards into your future. The Eight of Wands. The Death card and the Ten of Pentacles. I do feel like a rebirth into something bigger here. I mean, the Death card could also symbolize that you have closed something off here with the Eight of Pentacles. Like something, it could be like work, you finished working on something or a project, a contract. The Five of Pentacles, though, is biding your time through some sort of conflict. What you don't see here. I think what you don't see is whatever you've moved away from, you're actually going to achieve much greater in the future. And I think also, not just like in terms of perhaps physical and financial, but also emotional with the Sun and the Queen of Cups. And that's what I have. Three Cups at the bottom. Doing things that you haven't done for yourself in a while, seeing people that you haven't seen in a while, perhaps. So, that was pile number one. I'm not going to edit these because I'm going to tell you why, I'm going to tell you why. So, my editing software did an update. And now it really is slow. No, actually, it's not so much this slow, but it's making my computer run really slow. And I'm not really happy about that. I have to change things. Everything was fine. I've always felt like that with electronics. Like, everything was fine. It was working great for me. I don't know why they had to change anything. So, yeah, I'm going to shuffle these because then we're going to go and do pile number two. You can hear me chit-chat if you want. Because like I said, I ain't editing. I'll timestamp. I will timestamp, my friends. I will timestamp. Get these in here. So I have a secret to tell. I'm not going to tell it yet, though. I have a secret to tell. You know what? Yeah, I should do that. I'm gonna kind of pull you guys along for a little bit because I got a secret. Really talking much if I say I have a secret. Okay, when will I tell you? Okay, the secret is something that is about to come to fruition in my life, and it happens on September 13th. So that's all I'm gonna say for now. I have to mention it on my other channel. I have another channel too, if you don't know. Awakening to Spirit. There you go. See, I do a little promo for anyone who's sticking around and doesn't know who I am. But I think most of the people over here already know my other channel. All right. Pal number two. What's the word on the street about you, pal number two? What is the word on the street about pal number two? What is going on with pile number two? So what's the word on the street with pile number 2. Pile number 2, control. Jupiter in Capricorn. I feel like you are engaged in quite a bit of self-control at this time. Quite a bit of self-control, but I feel like this self-control isn't, it's funny, I don't feel like you're wrestling demons in terms of this self-control. I feel like maybe you are wrestling demons, but only in that it's like, okay, so this is what people perceive though, right? So, because it's the word on the streets. It comes with like some really solid experience here. You're controlling yourself, but you're able to do it based on some sort of experience that you already have in life. And I feel like there's a lot of intuition that comes with this though. It's like experience, but you have a way of processing it, and you can process it and kind of see beyond realities. There's a game playing out. Oh, it's kind of funny because pile number 1 had the chessboard. If you're called to that, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, do what you want. But this, what's at the bottom? Criticism, inheritance, seduction, patience. Criticism, inheritance, seduction, patience. There's something coming into my mind. I don't know if you ever watched Jess Puckett. I love her. I watch her when she puts stuff out. I think she's busy on her Patreon, but she's talked about before the marshmallow test. It's the only time I'd ever heard of it. She's fascinating. You'll learn new things with her. She's the old Gemini girl, so she's got a lot of stuff going on in her brain. But there's something about this that reminds me of that. It's okay, if I can remember it, and I'm kind of like paraphrasing Miss Jess Puckett from the Chaos Witch, is the marshmallow test is, you know, like you put, I guess it's more likely a kid, but I think you're an adult in this situation. So let's say it's like inner child you. And somebody puts a marshmallow in front of you. You're sitting in an empty room with a table. They put a marshmallow in front of you. And they say, okay, if you can resist eating that marshmallow for the next 5 minutes, when I come back, I'm gonna make my story a little more elaborate. I think in Jess' story, you just get more marshmallows. But I have a Taurus moon. So the reward that you're gonna get is you're gonna get hot chocolate with whipped cream and marshmallows and cookies on the side. If you can resist eating that marshmallow right now. But there's an extra element to this, is that it's almost like this test is being done by someone who is hypercritical. Hypercritical? And you really want to seduce that marshmallow. You really want to bring that marshmallow in. But you have to be patient here, because the person running the test, which is interesting. I mean, this looks like God to me all the time. And you have the snake and sitting on the globe. So in some way, though, I feel like you're like harnessing the energy of that, of source. Because you know, like then you have this Saturn, inheritance, and Scorpio. This feels like a very messy, confusing labyrinth. But you have seduction and criticism. And patience and control go together so well. Yeah, the word on the street is that you are holding yourself back from some sort of lovely little marshmallow in your life And the reason for it, though, is more than just passing the marshmallow test. It's because the person, the energy, the entity, the situation running the marshmallow test won't stop short of really like criticizing you if you eat the marshmallow now. And it feels as though it could affect something long term here. Like maybe you'll never get a marshmallow again. You won't get hot chocolate. You won't get the cookies and the whipped cream. Interesting. Let's see. That's fascinating. Ooh. 7 of Cups and the 3 of Swords on the split. Oh, it's marshmallow. This marshmallow. All right. I'm going to do control. 3 cards. No, 1. I'm hearing 1 and 1 for each of these. Oh, why are the cards being so naughty? What's going on? I'm going to put these in different order because I read from left to right. So this is the order they came out in. Okay. Yo, pile number 3. You're fascinating. People are like, whoa, this is a test and a half. But you see there, I want to say you're very kind of like stoic. And it looks like you're calm. I don't know if you are. It looks like you're calm. Really finding the deepest depths of yourself here. Control. The 9 of Pentacles. You could not help but see, like this woman, I feel like staying on one side of a fence. Staying on one side of a fence. So that's interesting. Let's see how that develops. Criticism. Ace of Pentacles. Inheritance. The 5 of Pentacles. Oh, I see. You can't have the marshmallow. Don't pass the test. Seduction. The King of Swords. Impatience. The 3 of Swords. Okay. Oh, so this marshmallow test, it is. It's heartbreaking. This is hard. This is very hard. This feel like it's like you feel this in your core. I'm trying to get like a metaphor. I guess I do with the marshmallow test as coming in as kind of a metaphor for this. Okay, one of the ways it's coming in is I'm gonna like sort of like, let's put like almost like career based, let's say, okay? So it's as if, let's say you've been working somewhere for quite some time and you've kind of coveted or desired a position where this place is that you work. And the position that you covet or want is the person who writes your paycheck and does your reviews. So it's like, you have to be careful about like how you covet this. And in some ways you're like, you kind of wait and you bide your time. You wait and you bide your time. There's great control here, but it's heartbreaking. I almost want to say, because in some ways it's like, you know, with the seduction, you know how to get around this, but it's breaking the rules somehow. It's really odd energy. It's breaking the rules somehow. And you could find a new beginning actually ending up out in the cold. You could lose the opportunity if you're not patient and really keep your control going. That's what people see. That's the word on the street. And it's so heartbreaking. It's like, oh. Because I feel like Saturn is all over this. You have Capricorn, which if I believe correctly, rules Saturn. And then you have Saturn over here with Scorpio. It's like deeply hidden secrets. Could be other people's money with inheritance. But finding yourself in the 5 of Pentacles if it doesn't go right. Okay. So that's the word on the street. But, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, well, what's really going on? What's actually really going on for you, pile number 2? What's really going on here for pile number 2? Because this is how people perceive it. This is how people are perceiving you, which is actually fairly strong and fairly like logical flattery. Okay, right away, what's really good, I feel like, I want to say, I feel like you feel flattered by even like how people are seeing this, because it doesn't feel like that to you. There's two sides here, very Gemini energy. Venus in Gemini. You might be having a really difficult time yourself making a decision about something. There's two parts of you at play here. Assertion. The Sun in Aries. The Three of Wands. So now I'm looking at this because how you're perceived and what's going on with you are slightly different. How did that fall? Indecision. It's funny it fell off. Indecision. Yes, with this too. Just kind of this mutable, dual, holistic energy. Criticism and seduction. Assertion, the Three of Wands. Because one of the things, like, the Sun exalts in Aries, so it is a good placement, the underlying. There might be something that you need to say. And again, like, or maybe you have to talk the right way to the person running the marshmallow test. You have to talk to them. You have to talk to somebody the right way or say the right things, but you don't want to be criticized for what you could possibly say here. You don't want to be criticized for your feelings, possibly, with Venus energy too. You could be criticized for wanting to seduce something from someone, right? And that kind of comes in with that energy of, you know, you really want that position, but it's your boss's job right now. You have to be like, you have to watch what you say and how you do it. Let's pull out tarot. What's really going on with you? I think people too see you like, okay, now let's just wait. I want to see what you really, what's really going on. Oh. The Six of Swords. You're following your intuition. Can I get more with that? A Six of Swords. You're going in a new direction here. The Emperor. The Six of Swords, Emperor, and the Five of Wands. You are coasting. Let's say that. You are coasting. What's really going on here is you are coasting towards a conflict. Addressing it. And you know what? You're coming with a big, heavy fist. Look at him. The way he sits in that chair. Listen. Listen to what I gotta say here. And what do you call that? There's a name for what he's holding. It's not like a staff or something. But he's holding this. It's got an acorn, which represents, to me, magic. It represents a few things. Magic, the passing on of magic information. It also represents tiny things. From the most unlikely places come the greatest growth. He's sitting under a big tree, probably the oak that produced this acorn. And it's such a hard shell, it's hard to imagine that anything could come out of that and grow. Like, it really is a symbol kind of magic in itself, and the mighty will grow. And then you have the symbol of, to me, the sun and the crescent moon. What's really going on? You are saying the right things at the right time to get yourself in a very strong position in dealing with a conflict in the future. Interesting. So now that I've said that, it's trying to give me a perspective on who like could be observing, like what's the word on the street, because you are preparing for a conflict. I would say that with the Emperor and the Five of Wands. It could be an argument. Like, look at two. Oh, look at this. Interesting. These two faces are looking away, and then here, they're looking at each other. There's that Aries energy again. It's going after the dragon. Trying to go after the dragon? Is there flattery involved with defeating the dragon? The dragon, I want to say, represents some sort of conflict in the future. Are you criticizing? Or no, does someone perceive, because with flattery, that you could be criticizing? Like, you know, like the example again of a boss. So if you're saying, you know, if there's this really cool program or this really cool technique that I learned at a conference or at another place that I worked, it's really would be great for resolving this situation that we're working through. Were you criticizing me? Oh, you don't think, oh, no, I think you're doing a great job. And I think this would like really add to the things that you're doing here that are already really great. Are they trying to seduce me? Like there's something here about, how are you? What do you have at the bottom? You have justice. Interesting. I'm already going to clarifying. I find you quite fascinating here. All right. Control. Control. We've got control here. This is the perception. The sun. Oh, marshmallow test. Big time. Playing the long game. You are playing a long game here. And it's quite interesting. But that's but you see, but that's the also like, I think people see you playing the long game. And it doesn't matter how long or how much it hurts. You'll be patient to play the long game. Maybe you're trying to get yourself out of a situation. And the people around you are thinking, are they being critical or seductive in this? So in some ways I say you've got people in their heads. Perhaps. But then the King of Swords is sitting under the seduction card. So something being seen clearly. Flattery. Flattery is what's really going on here. The Lovers and the Queen of Wands. I kind of think any flattery that's coming out of you right now is meant. That's what's really going on. But I think others around you are, I don't know, they're not sure of your intentions. They're not sure of your intentions. So criticism. Criticism. Temperance. Yeah, like trying to get some balance in the situation. Inheritance. The Two of Wands. So it is like, there's something at the end of this game. I want to say game, strategy, seduction. Whoa, Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit. I feel like whatever you might be dealing with, the energy kind of observing you is not playing into the game. I don't want to call it a game, but, you know, and it might not necessarily be it's something that you're doing wrong. It could just be something that this person's been through in the past. And they're like, No. Patience, 3 of Swords. Ten of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. This is definitely playing the long game to get to an end here. Sitting in some way here, a self-inflicted pain, at least that's what others perceive. Sitting in a self-inflicted pain so that it never has to happen again, and you'll never have to go through it again. Knight of Cups is at the bottom. Let's push this up here. Now I'm going to ask one last question. Actually, no, I'm going to go here. What is this Emperor energy? The Chariot and the Ace of Wands. This way or that. And you have flattery looking this way or that. The Five of Wands. Just give me a second. The Five of Wands. The Five of Wands. Knight of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. The Nine of Cups. Definitely looking, okay, so what's really going on here is looking at a new way to find inspiration and charge forward towards your dream. Whatever that dream is for you, it's a marshmallow. It's the marshmallow with the hot chocolate, the whipped cream, more marshmallows, and some cookies on the side. I want to say I don't think people know your intentions, but I guess it's none of their business. So that's what's so curious about stuff like this. Knight of Wands is at the bottom. Drive, passionate drive. But there's, okay. I do want to say too, because like with the energy that you've got showing up here, you know, too, and this is the underline, I'll leave it there. You're pretty passionate and driven, and I would even say headstrong and creative, but you're not really showing up like that. So I don't know if that's part of why people are like, sure what's going on here. There's a part of yourself that is the most unique characteristic about you, but it's not being displayed in a very obvious manner here. So I think it's throwing people around you off a bit. Some people might be walking on eggshells. I want to say too, because with this control card, with the Sun and the Nine of Pentacles, it's like a part of you that perhaps, okay, because Aries energy can be quite assertive, overpowering. You know, when it's not in its balanced energy, it can be quite destructive, and it can be quite explosive and unpredictable. But when it is, because we're also talking the Sun here, right? And you've got the Sun in Aries, which to me, when anything is exalted, it's showing up in its best way, in its best and most high vibrational frequency. So you have got it's almost like you've taken an intense fire and you're controlling it. And that's feeding whatever this is that you're trying to drive yourself towards. Blind spot. So then we look at the blind spot. What you don't see here. What is the blind spot for pile number 2? What is the blind spot? The first thing that came out is enthusiasm. Okay. The sun in Sagittarius, but then you get Jupiter in Scorpio, manipulation. This is the blind spot. Okay, someone's going to play along with your game, whatever that is, but they're going to show enthusiasm towards it. They're going to kind of paint a picture like you're going in the same direction that they are, possibly, but it's manipulative. I believe in the book, this card too, with Jupiter and Scorpio manipulation, it can talk about event, like, well, not, it's a type of revenge, but there is a revenge card too that sits in here as well. But it's like manipulating for the end result of a type of revenge, possibly. There's something to be careful of here, for sure. Pile number 2. I kind of feel like there's two things I feel like you and another person or other people are a little bit similar here, because you have the flattery card. I don't know. Let's see. Discrimination is at the bottom. Venus and Virgo. Be very discriminatory. Really use your discernment. Oh, why did I pick up this deck? That's funny. I picked it up. I must be meant to use it. Maybe there's a repeat. It's the Everyday Rich deck. It's funny. I get one card for each of these. The blind spot is enthusiastic manipulation. But that's something that you don't see because it's a blind spot. So I don't think it's you being enthusiastically manipulative, unless you're going to become that in the future. Enthusiasm, temperance, manipulation, the Fool. Wow. Huh. Like tempering your enthusiasm. Temper your enthusiasm. Someone is tempering their enthusiasm to manipulate an outcome in the future that results in a clear slate. The Two of Cups, the Tower, the Six of Swords. Wow. Okay, so what you don't even know is you are headed towards a dramatic change in events or circumstances in your life that results in a beautiful balance of energies. It could be a beautiful relationship. It's definitely a beautiful balance of energies. Someone or something is tempering their enthusiasm to manipulate. So so this manipulation feels like it is like a type of revenge, but it's like a type of revenge over circumstances that it's like the only thing that you can control yourself in this situation is yourself. You are the biggest equation. I'm saying you, but I feel like it's in a blind spot. Maybe it is you. Maybe it is you. So let's just say whoever this energy is, this part of this blind spot, the biggest equation in this situation is this individual. By doing nothing, they do everything for their outcome. Which is quite intriguing. That came up in a reading on my other channel. Who was it for? I can't remember. And it was Where the scenario, you know, like if you're watching a movie or a short series, I think it was Breaking Bad came up for me as kind of like the example of this. If he'd just done nothing, everything would have worked out okay. Although I think, yeah, like I think he ended up, because he would have got the money for his cancer treatment from some friends that became, that were chemists as well, but developed a company or something like that. Or like if he, if he had at any given point just stopped what he was doing and let things play out, it would have been a much better outcome. That's what I see here. It's like, that's exactly what this is. Enthusiasm and temperance. Justice. Justice twice. The universe will take care of this. Justice twice. And justice is just like something being broken down, being guided to something that breaks down, and on the other side of that you find wholeness, happiness, connection, like healthy connection. Manipulation and the Fool. The Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. There's two ways this is coming through. One is tempering enthusiasm manipulates a situation, so when whoever, whatever, finds themselves at the other end of this, they have more than enough to give of themselves. They're in a very comfortable position. The other thing I get with this, you know, because I don't read reversals, but I get information in as like a reversal, where if this energy is not tempered, controlled, patient, then too much may be asked. Because the Nine of Pentacles shows up with a lot. Like doing very well, but protected. Don't lose the protection somehow. That's really a funny... The Page of Cups at the bottom. Starting small. Starting small. Yo, that's what I got. So, that's just like... It's getting so serious. It's just supposed to be like me swinging out cards, baby. So... That's what I got. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, my little channel here. So I gotta say, if you want to, no pressure, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.